All right, we will open the meeting, planning board meeting for August 15th. It is being conducted in a hybrid manner pursuant to the general laws. If anybody is recording, that is fine. You just need to let us know. Okay, hearing nothing. We will be recording it ourselves and putting it on the planning board website for all to review. 7 o'clock town planners report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Just a couple of quick items to report on. Oh, let's see. We did have a roundtable meeting with Lebec Associates, Conservation, DPW, regarding 24 and 26 Nicholson Hill Road, which we'll be discussing later on tonight, and some proposed plan changes that I think stemmed from that discussion and perhaps have grown since. I met with Pete Fry regarding 250 College Highway. That's a multifamily residence on the south side of town. It's an older building, and he came in to inquire about the viability, or rather to ensure that the current multifamily use could continue forward as it lies in the R40 zone. The house itself is old enough, certainly to qualify for pre-existing non-conforming status, but I have further research to do in order to shore up the history of that property and that structure, as well as its use. And for those who don't have last night's news, the Crepes Tea House owners have submitted a petition for a zone change that was received and referred by the select board last night to us to hold a public hearing. So I'll be looking to schedule that and open up for our discussion and subsequent recommendation. And that's all I have for tonight's report.
Okay. I didn't forward it to you. I think there was something.
Keep saying I have another thing to report. I will in a moment.
But now, just so that it's, yeah, you are not, I meant to forward it to you, sorry.
Okay.
Because you brought it up last meeting. I got an email on Wednesday from the AG's office just indicating that the 30 days have passed since the time the complaint was filed, so that he now has the ability to file it with the AG's office for a request for the review. So
I see. Thank you for.
All right, I'll forward that to you right now.
Thank you.
Other than that, I know nothing more about it.
Okay, much appreciated. How you doing?
All right, 7:05, public comment. Anybody have anything for the planning board tonight that is not on the agenda? Okay, seeing nothing. Why don't we, since we have a few more minutes, why don't we jump to the minutes? Did everybody look at the minutes?
I was hoping you weren't going to say that word. After reviewing the minutes, I see I need to put some time to manage a few edits.
Okay.
So that here is a courtesy copy for the board members, but we'll manage at the next meeting.
Fantastic. Okay. All right. So we will cross that off the list. Master Plan Advisory Committee update.
Yep. Let's see. I missed last meeting, but I did listen to the audio. And so kind of describe what transpired. But basically, the individual teams are continuing to work their chapters There's an effort ongoing really that, to try to look at a lot of the, data that we got from a lot of the outreach, make sure that we're thoroughly addressing the more important things of that in the various chapters, and also make sure that all the chapters among themselves are, I'll call it aligned, right?
That's a
Have
good word.
one voice and kind of have a, common direction, if you will. And so that work is continuing to go on. And if I heard correctly, I believe the overall goal is to have at least a quasi reviewable version for us, the planning board, in our second September meeting.
Okay, that's great.
And then the one other thing, unless you've got something. Forgive me, see how we're doing here. One of the members, Mr. Jubb, has resigned. And so I think the committee was to say, well, let's go back to school committee, let them see if they wanna fill that with another member or whatever, consider we're so far, deep into the process, it may or may not make sense even to have somebody going online, but.
Yeah, I'm not sure at this
TBD
point
how
in
that goes.
They
time,
were represented by the school, for the school committee?
There for the, yeah,
yeah, I mean, my inclination is to say, I mean, Pat has had the input for the last year and a half or whatever, so.
Well,
I mean,
we'll
you got a
enjoy
couple of weeks
sure,
before your
but,
first
yeah.
rough draft on the document.
yes.
It'd be
I mean,
kinda-
they can certainly, I suppose if they wanted to offer someone, they could, but it wouldn't, it's not like someone's gonna come in and recreate what has already been done, so,
Right.
it's up to, I leave it up, up to you what you wanna do, but I'm not sure I see a huge
Yeah.
need to fill
I
that
think
spot.
that's the general feeling among it.
Okay.
Yep.
If I.
Yeah, please do,
may,
please.
Not to
Yeah,
step on your
absolutely.
toes.
No, yes.
So, to follow up on that
Yeah.
particular note, the school board chair. There was some informal conversation where I was copied on and saw that he's receiving information and reviewing it at, we'll call it his level, just to make sure that there aren't any particular misses or missed opportunities. That's a good way to look at it. I do think we'll have this week, this meeting, we should have, we'll call it the first functional draft at the master plan advisory committee level. But to shore up Mr. Spina's comments about all the chapters being divvied up with some delightful detail and thought being put to them, there's gonna be we'll call it a realignment effort that's necessary in the coming weeks before it gets to the planning board. Lastly, I'll share a little bit of master plan adjacent news that we do have a draft housing plan that I've been asked to review. I'll also share that with the housing chapter reviewers at the master plan advisory committee. And I expect that we'll be picking up that particular discussion with PVPC towards the end of this month when the author of that document, the housing production plan, returns from vacation. That's it.
Sounds good. All right, 7:10 PM, 159 Berkshire Avenue.
Mr. Chair, if I may speak on Mr. Hill's behalf, although I do believe he's in attendance. We have a continuance request before us. Randy and I met and distributed a series of comments based on the last rather thorough submittal, but we're gonna call this being the last effort to get everything aligned where it needs to be. So that we can carry forward into the permit element and the construction targeting some work in this fall seeding season. Mr. Hale and I are going to have a phone call tomorrow morning at 10:30 to address any specific concerns he may have about that comment letter. But aside from some, I'm gonna call them a couple of technical inquiries that Mr. Brown is looking for clarification on. I continue to believe that this is reasonably close to completion.
Okay. With the idea of potential decision at the next meeting or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Optimistically, I wanted to have one ready for us to look at today, but I think it'll be best the best opportunity, for action would be the next week.
Okay.
So we'll
Um,
look for a continuance to September.
Do I hear a motion to continue 159 Berkshire Avenue to September 5th at 7:10 PM?
Dave Spina, so moved.
Second,
Do a roll call vote. Michael Doherty, aye.
Dave Spina, aye.
David Sutton, aye.
Jessica Thornton, I.
Okay. Is Utz on
I
or is he
did,
not on?
His name's on there, I think.
he communicated to me that he expected to be here.
Okay. All right. Okay, 7:15, 662A College Highway, continued public hearing.
I also have a continuance request, from Mr. Jim Moore for this application. They remain, in the midst of a peer review with the Conservation Commission.
Okay. Any likelihood of that resolving before our next meeting?
I don't specifically know the next, Conservation Commission meeting. They were ballparking 4 to 6 weeks originally. And I think that if you will, encompasses all of August.
Okay. Then we'll just put it on for 7:15 with the idea it's probably gonna just be carried over anyways. So do I hear a motion to continue 662A College Highway? Continue public hearing to 7:15 on September 5th.
Spina, so moved.
For a second.
Second,
We'll do a roll call vote. Michael Doherty, aye.
Dave Spina, aye.
David Sutton, aye.
Jessica Thornton, I.
All right. Those are all sets. And now we have a little bit of time to fill in here.
I'm here, Mike.
All right, thanks, Dick. Let's see. You, A&R?
Sure, we can do that. Let me bring it up on the screen right quick. Oklahoma. Okay, folks, the first one I'm sharing is the A&R at this location that was approved. I think it was early February, if not January. And so the change from the plan on the screen to current. Basically, there we go. So we are now, the proposed parcel now extends all the way from the southernmost extent of this property along the stone wall in the plan, straight across to the adjacent property owned by a separate party. So originally,
But we approved, or we signed an A&R,
yes,
and did it get filed with the registry?
I don't know if it got filed with the registry, but this would supersede if,
Even if it got filed with the registry?
yes. They would have to file appropriate, paperwork to do
But
so,
doesn't,
as long as it remains in the same ownership.
Okay.
If it were to be filed with the registry, I would expect to see, the previous parcel lines on this phone, so
I guess that's what I was thinking.
I would expect that it got approved, distributed, and then it's probably gonna die in their office while this will, take its place as we.
I mean, it doesn't matter, because it's still it's either going from this whole property to this, or it's going from this and that one to this. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Oak Ridge to Oak Ridge, right?
It's all the same owner, but just for sake of what it's going from, but I guess it doesn't matter. Okay.
So having said that much, we now have more frontage, albeit on a shallower parcel, but, I don't have any concerns with the site distances of this property or access.
Any questions, comments from the board? Okay. All right. I don't have my phone.
I got my-
There we go. Do I hear a motion to endorse the approval not required plan for 72 Mort Vining Road?
Nice.
Dave Spina, so moved.
Second.
You're earning your vice chair.
Contributing something.
Roll call, vote, Michael Doherty, aye.
Dave Spina, aye.
David Sutton, aye.
Jessica Thornton, aye.
Dick Utzinger, aye.
Thank you.
All right. That's all steps. Nixon, is that just gonna be an update, or is there gonna be more discussion about what we need?
If I were to have a guess, this is going to be truncating some of the scope items we anticipated before with a simpler approach. How's that sound? Yeah. So I think 10 minutes would be the appropriate period of time.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. So we can do 24 and 26 Signal Road, site plan review. You will pull it up there. Okay. All right, okay, go ahead.
Good evening, Luis Trevo of our Levesque Associates, here for the site plan application for the proposed two-family dwelling off of Nicholson Hill Road, 24 and 26. I believe the board has seen a different previous version of this. We had previously, the grading had come out and around and into the 50-foot buffer zone here. So we worked with conservation to kind of pull in the limit of work. We have since received approval from the Conservation Commission and have done that, pulled in the limit of work by installing or proposing these retaining walls, which lets us, pull the grading back on the slope, flip the garage from the back side to the front side, so that allows us to, reduce the length of the driveway, pull back some grading here. And all of that was done to disturb less than 1 acre, which then does not trigger the stormwater permit application. So what you see here is less than the 1 acre. Other than that, the building, other than flipping the garage, essentially stayed the same, in the same location. Private for water service, sanitary system for each unit up to leach fields here in this elevation where the parks were. I'm here today with the applicant, Mr. Lee Dorelli, so if there's any questions the board has, you can certainly answer them.
All right. Anything else, Philippe? You all set? Okay. John, anything you wanted to add from your review of it?
No, where we sit today, we started with some concepts and some clarification in terms of the separate sewerage under zoning. The fruit of the meeting, the roundtable I had with Mr. Levesque, really was optimizing their work within the 50-foot buffer so that it could proceed with conservation. That closed last week and was issued an order of conditions. So with the reduction of the development footprint to less than 1 acre, I think that's our remaining concern. as far as this is, strictly site plan review, so they do a future plan endorsement.
All right, any questions or comments, from the board? All right, and we dealt with everything from town council, right? That's all. I know there was the issue about, right, this is one of the something.
That's correct. So as it sits, I think they're,
Okay.
virtually that complete, that's it. Pretty
I mean, if there was a way to not make them completely separate, we would pursue that.
Fair enough. Okay. All right, anything else before we do a motion? All right, do I hear a, motion for a, recommendation of the planning board, on this site plan?
Dave Spina, so moved.
We'll do a roll call vote. Michael Doherty, aye.
Dave Spina, aye.
David Sutton, aye.
Jessica Thornton, I.
David Gelsinger, aye.
I should probably clear it up that it's I guess it's a positive recommendation. That's for the sign, but, that's for the sign bylaw, but yeah, we'll call it a positive recommendation for this one.
Negativity on there.
All right, all set. Thank you, Philippe. Thank you.
Are those the hard copies, please?
Yeah, thank you. Okay. I'll have those sent in the night.
Sutton, can you just hand me that back? Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Getting microphones, we need to get a little foot in the camera.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Um. All right, Tocon decision. We got a few minutes. Not too exciting. Pretty much the same.
This is correct.
I didn't do a, compare, but.
That's okay. The changes relevant, to this document reflect the new reuse plan in the solar facility.
Yep.
As well as the well decommissioning. I'll mention as an aside that, we reconfirmed one of the gentlemen from the original applicant, they reached out, for decommissioning, procedures from DPW.
Okay.
So I just want to bring that up for us, so Victor's fee. Give me 1 second.
Matches what you emailed to us the other day, John, right?
Yes. That looks better in design. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, you can put it up as one single page and we'll just pop through the paragraphs just quickly. I don't.
I wouldn't mind just revisiting the language about the well decommissioning while we're at it.
Sure. This is the end, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we have paragraphs, so we have the beginning in paragraphs 1 through 4 up there now. Anybody have any, comments, changes, anything regarding this portion of the special permit renewal? Okay. Yeah, you want anything?
The latest decision for 2B.
The modified permit is the one that has the solar, on it, right? That's what we did in November.
That's correct.
So 1 through 4, fine, what do we have up there? 5 through 7? Anything on those? Those are pretty straightforward, I think. Okay. Go on up 8 through 13. Anything on those? 8 straightforward, the same as before. 9 is not the same as before. I think all those are the same as before.
Yes.
All right. So the next one will go 14 through 16. Or I guess 14 through 18 on the screen. So 14, 15, the same. 16. Is the same with the addition, I believe, of the solar language in there, and then reference to the modified permits application. 17 refers to the new submission, and 18 is the one you wanted to talk about, John.
Just I haven't looked at it in a few days. I want to make sure the language is still. I believe the term I'd like to change is in the last sentence, instead of Massachusetts certified, it will say Massachusetts licensed.
You just change. It's not like that compel. Unless that's specific from something.
No, go right ahead. Let's hear it.
I would write the applicant shall be required to submit a well decommissioning plan from a Massachusetts licensed well driller. Or authored by, or that makes sense.
Fully on board.
Okay. Anything else on 18, 19, or 20? Okay. I think that's all set. So do I hear a motion to accept the written decision as modified here tonight for the Tilcon special permit renewal?
Dave Spina, so moved.
I hear a second.
Second.
Do a roll call vote. Michael Doherty, aye.
Dave Spina, aye.
David Sutton, aye.
Jessica Thornton, aye.
Rich Elsinger, aye.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
All right, that's all set. 7:30, 9 Wally Way, continued public hearing.
You just need to save that document. Follow up time and away from you.
Wait, how long was the meeting when I was gone?
18 minutes.
18 minutes. All right, I already lost it. All right, so we can, yeah, get as much time as you want. I've already.
Round the run.
It was close. I would take a minute.
Doug
I don't have any
Doug
delay
wasn't happy
tactics.
because we beat his record. Okay, 22 minutes.
Those
But you're welcome
sides
to
falling
try.
down, flopping.
We have a formal containment plan for that.
Have up the clock.
Uh-huh. On a soccer ball on the stand.
The Board of Selectmen went over 3 hours last night. I think they're taking the place of the planning board.
Uh-huh. We flipped.
It's left. I'll
Um,
do my best to maintain that.
all right, we have
No
a,
promises there.
You can do it, John.
continuance request from the applicant dated August 15th, or from, I guess, the, project engineer for the applicant, requesting to be placed on the next available planning board meeting agenda. So I would just say, let's do same that time, same that channel, 7:30, on the 5th.
Sounds good.
Do I hear a motion?
Dave Spina, so moved.
Seconded,
If you roll call vote, Michael Doherty, aye.
Dave Spina, aye.
David Sutton, aye.
Jessica Thornton, aye.
Richard Ottinger, aye.
All right. The, marijuana bylaw. We can put that, here's what I just say is, I can't remember what the rule is, right? But there is a rule about time passing between approval of that and the town meeting. I can't remember what the time frame is or what the rule is
Within
specifically.
6 months.
Okay,
So you have to close within 6 months of that.
all right, so I
Where's
don't.
the clock now?
I'm sorry, was that?
So where's the clock now?
I just don't,
There's been no announced special town meeting.
correct, so
Well, the gears are looking to potentially get greased in that way, depending on whether there's something to be had.
I don't mind starting it, I just don't want to sit here for September, October, November, just continuing something that should have been done in one meeting or two meetings.
It's a shame that Philippe isn't here to appreciate it, but I kind of think that's my specialty.
How much of this bylaw do we actually have to change, Mike, besides some of
Well,
the verbiage and the way we describe it?
That's easy, we have to look at
There's some
the map again. Again, I don't think it's gonna be a lengthy public hearing, but that's also the reason why I don't necessarily wanna open it too quickly, because then we'd just be sitting there continuing this thing on.
So we're gonna stay with doing it with the board, not going back to a subcommittee.
Yeah, we don't need a subcommittee, I don't think. We've already gotten, but we have a decent map, it's just a question of whether I think.
There's already site distances listed.
Yes.
and-
So we're in decent shape, it's one that should be revisited. So I would say, I mean, I would be looking probably to put it on for the end of September.
Then we could turn it
Um,
around in a meeting or two if needed for a November special town meeting.
Right. But then you have at least a September meeting, you have a couple October meetings if you need, I mean, you have
We're
some,
gonna be having a special meeting this summer, just after the fall.
I don't know, that's the thing.
I don't know,
So,
I don't know how much.
Um,
it has to be-
so I would,
The next
you
meeting.
keep it in your head for advertisement for
The second meeting
the
is.
second meeting in September. Vaguely recall seeing something, whether it was on Mass Live or in minutes or whatever, about us needing to submit something to the select board, but there's nothing to submit other than we're opening it up to discuss modification to allow retail. And I think it's literally changing a word. So I suppose if you want to submit that, but the bigger thing is looking at the map again. So, I don't know if you wanna submit like a memo to them as to what we're planning on doing.
That-
Or how it's gonna be advertised. That's fine, but there's not like a specific. We're not the ones proposing the bylaw, I suppose. This kind of are, I don't know, whatever. You can do whatever you want. It's up to you.
In response to the voters' wishes as expressed at the annual town meeting, the planning board is opening up a hearing
Yeah,
to amend. Yeah,
I mean, that's, yeah.
it's not,
And you can give them the proposed amended bylaws, but it's just looking that prohibited and putting allowed, right?
185-35.2C.
Very nice.
You're welcome.
So, all right. So I'll let you take care of that, but let's plan on for late September on that one. Planning board member comments?
Actually, yes, I have a stupid question.
Well,
I don't have, it
Stupid
was
question.
it was asked of me. When we put all these solar arrays in everywhere, we fence them all in. We have the power, tell them it needs to be fenced in. We also have the ability to change the height of that fence, not just in distance above the ground, but distance off the ground. So if you're putting in a 6-foot fence, there could be a 6-inch space below it. You know, so instead of being directly on the ground, raise it 6 inches for wildlife movement.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I don't think there's anything, I don't think it's as detailed in the bylaw that would allow us to not do that. I think we have discretion to.
The way it was brought to me, actually made pretty damn good sense on a couple of levels. A lot of the blow around, where you see the stuff piling up along fences, you see them, that helps alleviate some of that. 6 inches are gonna keep everybody out, allows for small critters to get in and out.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it is on the plans submitted to us, run by, the safety officials, then I think you can certainly do it. You can certainly,
Hey, chief.
That sounds like something I could get behind.
We have a safety official right here.
I mean,
With a 6-foot, a fence that we use to wrap around these solar arrays, if we had asked them to raise it 6 inches off the ground in order for
Wildlife movement.
trash doesn't pile up along the edge of it.
Well, I think it's a good idea, but I think you'd want to check property owners first to see if that's what the intent of the fence, if we want to keep everybody out.
So 6 inches, they have to be a really skinny guy.
but, I mean, is the intent to keep wildlife out too, right? I mean,
Is that it? Yeah?
I don't, so it would, I think it would be site specific and you just, if it comes in that way, it's worth talking about, but, I don't necessarily have an issue with it. I just would wanna,
First, I always thought it was an interesting concept when someone I was asked, I said, well, I can ask and find out.
yeah.
Okay. Mr. Staff.
We can put in like little pet doors.
Little pet doors, yes. I got them on a chicken coop.
I mean,
All right.
The sun comes up and the gate automatically opens by itself. Sun goes down, it automatically closes. No?
No.
Did she watch the meeting?
Do her chicken chores. She's gonna tell me, she'll be like, I heard,
Hey,
they've got automatic chicken doors, I don't have to go out there no more.
It's his fault.
It's gonna be on
Yeah.
the spot. Okay.
That's it, throw me under the
Yeah.
bus. It's okay.
Absolutely.
I'm getting to be quite the bus mechanic.
Any other comments?
No, that was it, sir.
Okay.
I have others, but they don't.
Yeah, no,
pertain to
it just says planning board member comments, so you can really put anything you want.
Careful, Doug's on the line.
All right, do I hear the honorary Dave Sutton motion?
I make a motion to close the meeting.
Second,
Dave's been a second.
Congratulate Mike on a hell of an attempt to beat the record.
you know, yeah, all right. I gotta put everything on from like 7:01, 7:02, 7:03, and then we can kind of. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Bye.
Aye. All right, have a good night.